The Kardashians have decided once again to slam our face in their reality. And Kim has come out with a range of underwear that have all sorts of different pubic hair looks so that you can rock your best 1970s look. Okay, you don't need to buy that. You can get that for free. Just wait a couple of weeks.
Dear God. Let me just say that out loud so God knows that we're just alarmed by this.
Okay, 2 stories came out this week that I thought I really could have gone through my whole life and not known any of this, but now you have to know about it because I can't bear this burden myself. Heidi Klum decided to post a video on her social media asking if you ladies out there have any hair growing out of your boobs. Okay, that's already a question I don't want answered by anyone. If you are having a situation with that, with some stray hairs or whatever, pluck it and move on and tell no one. Okay, that's the way we deal with that. We don't make videos of said hair. And also, what the hell with the length of the hair coming out of her breast?
Das Haar, hier ist es an meinem Busen. Da ist es doch. Da ist es. Da ist es.
When was the last time she took a shower? Because I don't know how this could be growing out of your body and you didn't know about it for so long. This is like a hair that is as long as a hair on your head. And she wants to know, hey, girlies, any of you guys got some hairy boobs? I just don't know how it got that long before you finally realized that the thing tickling you in your shirt was actually a hair growing out of your chest and not a hair that got caught in your bra. I just could not even believe this. Okay, but if only that was the only weird hair story we had. No. The Kardashians have decided once again to slam our face in their reality. And Kim has come out with a range of underwear that have all sorts of different pubic hair looks so that you can rock your best 1970s look. Okay, you don't need to buy that. You can get that for free. Just wait a couple of weeks. I think the thing that's crazy to me is like not only the variety and the texture that she is offering here, but the fact that she thinks that anybody would want to buy any one of these.
Dear God. Let me just say that out loud so God knows that we're just alarmed by this.
Explain to me what in the world I would want this for. Now look, you can do however you want to do with your own personal body. I judge not, okay? You do you. If you're with somebody and they like that look, that's great news for you because it's a lot easier in life if it can just go the way God intended. But what am I buying a hairpiece for? I mean, it's like, I know that I love Toupee Queen, but I do not like Merkin Queen. And Kim Kardashian, why are you wanting to be the Merkin Queen? Why are you wanting to do that? Nobody needs that. Nobody needs to buy that. That's what's so crazy. Like, why would you spend the money for this horrific looking roadkill when you could just wait literally a couple weeks and that whole thing for free? For free. Are people wanting to experience different colors and looks? Are we wanting to buy a different color carpet? I mean, I don't know what's going on here. But to me, like literally nothing has ever made less sense to me than coming out with a line of this. I mean, they have really stretched themselves over there at Skims. You can only do so much with shapewear. And I thought the crazy chin thing was wild. Although the other day at Carpool, I passed a mom who was wearing one of these in the car. But, you know, we all laughed about the chin strap. Like, okay, we're really stretching it over there. And they were basically like, hold my beer. I have multiple colored Merkins. Which one do you want? You know? I mean, what are they going to do next, I ask you? I shudder to think where they go next. Shudder to think. But, you know, Kim was everywhere, you know, because she has just got this thing going with Nike. So Skims and Nike are teaming up. So I guess that's why she was on Call Her Daddy. I don't get Call Her Daddy. I don't get that podcast, you guys. I had my brother over last night, and he knows about all the things. And he is just like a wealth of knowledge on all things. And so I'm like, can you explain to me the Call Her Daddy podcast? Like, how did that happen? So he like breaks it down for me. Like, where did you come from? And all of this stuff. And so he tells me the whole story. It still didn't really make sense to me. Like, why is she so well known? Because, you know, I think she's pretty. My brother did not think she was pretty, but I think he's crazy. I think that Alex Cooper is really pretty. And, you know, she certainly has a certain look to her. She's like very Gen Z, but, you know, whatever. I can see that people might watch the show because she's pretty, and sometimes people are drawn into that. There doesn't have to be a lot of substance there, but she's grating as a host. Can we agree on that? And then the conversations that she's having with these women are some of them so degrading and gross. I mean, when she had Cardi B on, I was like, how was this allowed online? Like, I feel like I would have had to go to the darkest recesses of the internet to hear some of the conversation that they were having, and it was right there on YouTube. Anyway, Call Her Daddy had Kim Kardashian on. But everyone's talking about this interview, and I listened to the whole thing thinking, okay, this might be interesting. We cover Kim Kardashian a lot, and I don't generally listen to Call Her Daddy podcast unless there's some guest on there that is somebody who's like reoccurring on this show, and I'm like, all right, maybe they say something. But Kim Kardashian is so media trained that she wasn't going to say anything that was actually interesting. Plus, if they do have anything interesting, that needs to be saved for their personal show. So, it was just a lot of... It was just two girls with the same intonation, with a lot of filler talk, but nobody was really saying anything. And so even the highlights from this episode are lowlights compared to other conversations you could have with literally somebody on the street corner waiting for the light to change. She didn't know how much a gallon of milk costs and wasn't really sure how much her glam cost. I mean, everyone was like, can you believe it? Freaking yes, I can. She's a billionaire. When was the last time you think she went to the store and picked up a gallon of milk? $1 million is nothing to her. Her entire business is how she looks. I'm sure she spends well over $1 million with all the surgeries, with all the hair, with all the makeup, with all the tanning. I mean, of course it's well over $1 million. It couldn't be just $1 million. And so people are like, this is crazy. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can. Can you not? The crazier thing is that you are shocked that she doesn't know how much a gallon of milk costs. Why would she? Is she like, let me see the receipt? Better check my bills. No. And then even when she talked about parenting with Kanye, that wasn't going to be explosive. He literally made a documentary of himself screaming at everybody. Okay, so how is she going to pick up and carry on and blow your socks off after we saw him screaming like a child and stamping his feet like a 2-year-old? Okay, so like the most explosive thing she said was just, what do you think it's like co-parenting with Kanye? Alex Cooper has got to learn to push a little bit on the people who are sitting across from her. She just wants to be their friend. She doesn't really care about them. She agrees with everything they say. It's just supposed to be like this cozy moment because she's always, wandering in her sweats and her socks. She's not looking for this to be hard hitting in any way. And probably most of the people who watch her show, nobody's looking for investigative journalism. But I wish that she's like, I'm going to ask you some really hard questions. And then she does ask questions, but Kim didn't answer any of them. Kim's like, I don't know if I'm going to go there. I'm going to get in trouble anyway. So it's like, well, then why did you even bother to come, Kim? But then also, Alex, rephrase, come up with another way. Can we ask some follow-up questions? Not Alex Cooper. It's just too hard. Meanwhile, speaking about the Kardashians, Kris continues to confound me with how young she looks. And I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were talking about her facelift and just what an incredible facelift it is. And nobody can say that that's just lighting, that's just makeup, that's just AI, because we're watching her do these interviews and she's moving all over the place and she's talking, and it's not like there's a chance for a filter to really cover up the reality. So it's an incredible facelift, but the doctor who did it does not want her to talk about him. He isn't a doctor that has any social media. He doesn't have any presence in Hollywood. You have to go to him by referral. To have him just look at you is $5,000. And then the facelift costs like $300,000. But it's big money that was spent on her face by a doctor who is not looking to be well known. You want to talk about a bespoke experience, Meghan Markle. That would be Kris's face surgeon. That guy is delivering some very unique procedures over there. I don't know if they're all legal, quite frankly. But anyway, we can all see Kris has had major work done. Major work. And you know what she's out there trying to tell us has been her secret to youthfulness and the success of keeping her appearance? The sauna. She heard that if you do the sauna every day, it adds like 40% to your life. I'm supposed to believe that you look like you were literally just reborn yesterday because you got a sauna up at the house? Is what I'm seeing on your face supposed to be 40% extra life that was put back into your face because of the sauna? Like, what are you even saying to me, Kris? Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. You had work done, extensive work done. A year ago, she looked 40 years older than she does now. She looks exactly like Kim. You know what I did think was interesting? It was a throwaway line that Kim said on Call Her Daddy. Kim said, yeah, my mom's always trying to copy me. And I'm like, down to your freaking face, Kim. Your mom's crazy. I think Kris is actually crazy. There was a long, drawn-out story on Call Her Daddy about some debacle that the family had over certain gifts that Kim was wanting and that her mom bought for somebody else in the family and had no record. It was a long, long story. And only a billionaire could relate. But the story just seemed to highlight, one, Kris is losing it, but then two, how much Kris doesn't really care about Kim and how Kris uses Kim for, like, what's the latest? What are you kids into? And then she just copies everything Kim does.